Hello and welcome to another episode of Words with Myself.
Many people fear change, and they fear change for lots of different reasons. But one of the reasons is that they worry that people will not accept the new version of them, or will not accept their boundaries. They will not accept the decisions that they have made. And this fear of losing people keeps them in the same place. They don't want to move because they're worried that they will lose the things that they love. And what is very difficult to accept is that oftentimes it's true. It's not true all the time and for everybody, but everybody that I know who has changed in a big way for the better has lost a considerable amount in the process. Change comes with sacrifice, and we have to be sure of our decision to change, that we are aware of the cost of the sacrifice, what it will take to get to where we want to go. Typically, we want to bring people with us. If we're trying to better ourselves, we try to bring others along with us, to improve everyone else's life. But when you involve yourself in the state of others, you end up trying to fix a problem that they might not want to be fixed. They might not want to change. They might want to stay the same. Even if you think that that's a terrible thing, or you've changed for the better and it's made so much improvement in your life and you don't see why they wouldn't want that, they might just not be ready for that, or they might not want it. They might want to live their experience their way. And I'm sure we have all changed in ways that we now see, like, why didn't I always do this? Why wasn't I always like this? Why didn't I always make this choice? And so it seems so obvious. But there was a time where you weren't making that choice. There was a time where you had a different experience, and maybe for a very long time. So the fact that you have changed and can see things clearly now, you must also accept that there was a time where you didn't, where it wasn't obvious to you. You may have wanted to change, so you made this decision and you're very happy with your choice. But if they don't want to change, you cannot change for them, even if it's something really, really good. They have to be able to make their own decisions. And we feel like this certain level of responsibility to help people along the way, but forcing someone to change isn't helping them. If they come to you and say, wow, I can see the improvement in you, what did you do? Then you can help them. They've invited it in. They're curious and they want to change because their eyes have been opened into this new experience that is possible where they might not have seen it before. So rather than trying to convince people, just focus on changing yourself, and then others will be drawn by the benefits or the product of that change. So let the results speak for themselves. But what most commonly happens is that as you change, as you develop, as you improve and become happier and more healthy or more successful, whatever you're improving on, you begin to get pulled on. Those people who aren't really wanting to change, they don't want you to change either. They're happy with how things are. So they don't want you to change, and they don't want you to change them. But they will begin to try to pull you into your old identity. They will try to rope you back into your old habits, who you were. And we tend to think that, especially in our relationships and our friendships, we think, well, no, this person should want us to change. They should want for us to improve in this way. Like, why wouldn't they be happy for us? But if they are not in a place of, if they're living their perfect life, or maybe not even perfect, but if they're happy with how things are and they don't really want to change, you changing is changing a part of their life because you have an influence on them. Sometimes people don't even want to be influenced positively because it shows them that they are doing something negative. If you're always honest around liars, they're going to look at you like you're strange, that you shouldn't be doing that. Like, why are you telling them that? And the more you separate, the more you change, the harder they will begin to pull. And often, if it's left too long, it can turn quite nasty. The relationship can break down to a point where it's having a real negative consequence on you. But you don't want to be this person who just cuts them off, or you don't want to say to them, I'm better now, you're worse, so get out of my life. So you want to hold on to them. You hold on to them while they're hurting you, while they're trying to prevent greatness in you, while they're trying to prevent positivity coming to you. And yet you're still holding them. And it gets to the point where you have to make the decision for yourself. Am I going to keep this person in my life even though they are causing harm, they're not respecting me or not wanting the best for me? Or do I just accept that we have changed and we go our separate ways? Often, though, this isn't amicable. It'll be one-sided. Because if you're changing for the better and then somebody is envious or jealous or doesn't want that better for you, they're typically going to grow resentful. And that resentment can be unknown for quite a long time. It can start to degrade over the course of years, but that resentment was seeded early. So what you are left with is one person that is building resentment over time, and one person who is trying to salvage themselves and the relationship. But as one person is trying to tear down and the other is trying to build up, they are processing that relationship in two different ways. That person in their head is making all of these excuses and vindicating you, and they're building this evil image of you in their head. Meanwhile, you're trying to show empathy and compassion to them, when really, if you were showing empathy and compassion towards yourself, you would realize that this relationship has now become toxic. It's become something that has degraded to the point of they're no longer really being your friend. And if you were to say, would I be friends with them now if I didn't have history with them? The answer would probably be no. I would never be friends with that person now, but because I've been friends with them for so long, I want to keep this relationship going. I don't want to leave them or abandon them or anything negative. So that is a position of empathy. You are looking after them and taking care of them, while they instead are seeing themselves as a victim of the situation. And typically people have this perception where they see themselves as a victim of circumstance and you as a benefactor of fortune. Their life is the way it is because bad things keep happening to them, and your life is the way it is because you've gotten lucky. Not you did lots of work and have put lots of effort in to trying to better your life and it's now going good, a few years down the line or a few months down the line. They only see, all of these good things are happening to you and none of them are happening to me. So it creates this jealousy and this contempt where they feel like you have gotten something that they haven't, even if they didn't work for it. Even if you were the one putting the effort in to change yourself or change your circumstance or better your life, they see you as the lucky one and them as the victim. And that mindset becomes perpetual. It keeps getting worse because the more you think negatively, the more negative things happen to you, the more reason you have to think negatively. And you end in this downward spiral. And if you're trying to climb up while holding on to someone who is spiraling down, it becomes exhausting. The toll that relationship takes on you is excruciating. Yet, because we value the relationship or because we love the person, we want to help them. We want to bring them up with us, to take them to a better place or save them. But we can't save anyone. It's hard enough trying to save ourselves. Doing that work to better yourself or better your life or better your family's life, that is task enough alone without dragging people with you. And it's different. If somebody wants to change, if someone's asking you for help or guidance, then you can help or guide at your discretion with that person. If you feel like that's an area where you can give back and they genuinely want to improve, they're genuinely trying to get on the same path, you can help them onto that path. You don't have to walk it for them, but you can help them onto that path. And you don't have to. People might be really shocked by that and go, well, you do. You have to help that person. But if they're asking questions, if they're in that mode where they're trying to change, they want better, if you say no to helping them, or if you don't help them, they are going to change anyway, because they have it in their mind that that is what they want to do. They want to change. And because they are on that path, they are going to find the answer one way or another, with your help or without it. And we have that ego that says like, oh no, I need to help that person so I feel like a good person. But you might not be the right person to help them. If you feel like, oh, this is a responsibility that I don't really want to take on, then you're not the right person to help them. And you have to accept that. And out of love, you can let them know that you're happy for them, but you're not the right person to help them through this. And that actually shows them more respect than trying to take it on and then feeling like they're a burden and then making them feel like that. They will detect it whether you think they will or not. They will know that your heart isn't truly in it. So you're not helping them by taking on a responsibility that you are not ready to take on, or that you don't want to take on. Even if you don't have to weigh everything up as I must do this or can't do that. You might just not want to do it, in which case the universe is telling you that you're not the right person and they will provide someone else. It can be easy to think that change is comfortable or nice or a good thing, when really change is difficult and hard and sorrowful and contains a lot of grief for the old versions of you. Change is really difficult and very painful. And many people would rather not change and accept the suffering that they have right now to remain comfortable, rather than go through voluntary suffering. The suffering of, I need to change and I'm willing to do what it takes. That's voluntary suffering. But voluntary suffering for a cause, for a meaning, that is the difference between the person that views themselves as a victim and the person who owns their choices, who owns the consequences of their actions. Because if you see yourself as a victim, you say that you don't want suffering, so you're choosing to stay comfortable. And if there is one thing that we can be certain of, is that change is constant. So when things change, people feel like they didn't want things to change. They wanted life to be on their terms. They didn't choose to go and try and change things. So why are they changing? And that creates the victim. Whereas people who choose their path, who are on a mission to better themselves, to get closer with God and the universe, who want to make their lives and the lives of people around them better, those who are on that journey, they are the voluntary sufferers. They are the strong. And if you're listening to this, it's because you're one of them. You might see yourself as weak. You might see yourself as somebody who isn't strong enough or who can't do it because you have such high standards for yourself. But you're here trying to understand yourself better, to get new insights, to open your mind. You're already doing the work. You are one of the strong. And when you accept that, and accept that you are going to change, and that you are signing yourself up for pain and suffering. And you might think, well, why would I do that? Why would I sign up for voluntary pain and suffering? Because change is painful, yet it's constant. It's always going to happen. Things will always change. For the better, for the worse, are all perspectives. But things will change. And when you own that changing, when you own the suffering, you liberate yourself from it. You choose your hardship. You say, life is difficult and I'm going to show up and do my best. I'm choosing to be here. I'm choosing to be in this experience. I'm going to do the best I can. And that's it. You are free. You are free from feeling like you are this victim of bad things that happen, that you are unlucky or destined to be sad or destined to be alone. All of this negative thoughts. Free yourself from that. Just say, I'm open to changing. I'm open and willing to take what it takes to get to where I want to go. And then be specific about where you want to go. Understand those consequences and own them. If changing for the better comes at the cost of losing people that don't really seem like friends in the first place, so be it. People who love you and want you in their life will have you in their life. People who don't love you and don't want you in their life will not. And life will filter it out for you. So keep the vision clear in your mind and in your heart, in your soul, in the very fiber of your being. Remember who you are, who you want to be, where you want to go, what path you're walking, and accept that everything that happens in life is a part of that journey. And just accept it. Life is going to do what life is going to do. You are here to experience. You are not here to change something or manipulate it or control it. You are here to experience life. That's it. So to experience something, you don't have to be actively fighting it or actively participating in it. Life happens, and you can flow with the river or you can fight against the waves. Both are choices. So be at peace with yours. Thank you for listening.